Okay, so today we are going to be playing with Seth Apter's Izink Pearly a bunch of different ways and seeing how it can fit into my mixed media art. So we're going to play with, I have 5 colors of Izink Pearly. And this is Seth Apter is working with a company, oh I know the name, Aladdin. And so when he was showing them on his channel, or he had 12 days of Sethmas, I'll make sure to link that in the description. I was like a little distressed because he's usually a grungy guy and these were all happy colored. And I'm not necessarily a happy color kind of gal. This is one of my favorite pieces I've made, which is, you know, dark and grungy and funny. But yesterday I was working with this, testing it out, because I like to test it out before I tell you guys about it. And I really enjoyed it, and it was fun, and I made something colorful. This is washi tape. I have a video about how to make your own washi tape. This is this color on coloring book pages, which I have a video about. Little Brad, so I made something fun. So the first thing I want to tell you is that it's sticky. So I put this on my palette knife, and it was, and I threw it in my water jug like I always do, and it didn't do anything. It's still sticky. It's maybe, I guess you could peel it off. This is a plastic knife, so maybe it's a little bit more releasey and you could peel it off. But I did want to tell you something nice, which I always have to figure out how to get stuff off my stuff because it's not my best thing. So this is pumpkin, sweet cinnamon pumpkin, any hand oh my gosh, easy for me to say. Hand sanitizer will work for this. It melted it, right? So especially on the metal of the palette knife, it melted that all off. So if you get this stuff stuck on your stencils, and I don't know that it melts it completely, but it melts it enough that you can kind of scrape it away. So there's that. I know you could just clean it off. I was using my Mrs. Meyer's Clean Day, which is functionally water-based, and I don't think that did a good job either. So today we're going to keep our hand sanitizer sitting right over here to help us. All right, so the first thing I want to try is, or the first thing I want to do, because it takes longer for it to dry than anything else, because I live in Florida, Seth said you can use it on your gel plate. And I never believe people when they say things will work, so I have to test it for myself. So I'm going to do 2 different ones. On this one, I am going to make this the front layer and then do a regular pull. Look how fun this is. This stencil fits right on there. I know. So cool. And on this one, I'm just going to kind of smudge it around and see what happens. This gel plate is horrific. You'll see when we do the pull, it has lots of crumblies stuck on it because my daughter played with it and she got the crumblies on. Okay, so anyways, so clean gel plate, dirty gel plate. Let's see if it works. So first off, we have, let's see, I think on this one, I'm going to do, because it's kind of a pearlized thing, I'm going to do yellow and blue. Kind of teal, right? Okay, and especially through a stencil, I like to use a soft palette knife, because then it, right? And for this guy, you squish it out. And you know, normally you would be a squisher onto your palette and then do it, but you can't put it back in, right? So you can't get it back in this little pouch. So you want to be careful not to use too much. I am not a use too much kind of kid anyways, because in Florida, if I use too much of anything, it will never dry, and then I will be here for the rest of my life. All right, so we're going to do that there. Then we're gonna try this, and we're gonna put a little bit blue out, right? We're gonna squish some blue out, and I already have some yellow on here, so let's see if that makes green. It may or may not. I don't know if that mixed. Okay, let's get some up here on the edges. And maybe a little bit down here. I'm not trying to cover all the holes. Just trying to have a little bit here and there. Okay, so that is this one. We got this guy on here. We will just let it sleep for a minute. And then while we have this on here, never waste your stuff. So let's do this. And let's get, I'm gonna be working on this piece of paper, but we can use it to squish it on our gel plate. Ooh, look, we got some off. Let's try to get this off. There we go. And then we have a whole bunch on there. And as you can see, I'm not really big on cleaning my stencils, but I think with this stuff, let's see if it cleans easier when it's wet. Imagine that. Oh yeah, it's coming off. Ish. Okay. All right. I don't know how much of this is that, but it's a little bit sticky. I feel like Seth Apter makes sticky products because his Izink ink is sticky too. All right, this is a silicone mat that I use. It's from the kitchen supply store. I had the one that looks like wood, that's for real crafters, and I don't like it because it looks like wood. So this is my desk, which gets yucky. It's just an IKEA desktop, but at least with this I can get stuff off. Okay, so we have our, oh nope, I lied to you. We have this one to do. All right, so for this one, let's do a couple of different, so I have orange, yellow, and gold in my very special yellow range. And everybody always asks me why I shake, and I shake because I work on this is tangerine. I shake because I work on the computer all day and my wrists are a little weak. All right, this is gold. Okay. And then this is yellow. And Seth Apter says to close them up after you use them every time. I don't do that. But you should. I think you should listen to the person who's the boss of it, but I don't do that. Okay, so let's get these working. And I'm just kind of spreading them around like I would paint. So I guess I could use a brayer for this. But because it's sort of a texture paste, right? You know, I don't want to have to, let's call a spade, people. I don't want to have to clean a brayer, right? Okay, so we have this on here. Let's do, I just wanted to do a teeny tiny bit of texture so we could see what went on. And I don't care if my dollar store comb gets a little funky monkey. So let's do this. Should we try to line it up? We'll try nominally to line it up, right? Okay, so we're gonna leave this and see if this is gonna be a cool background. Put that over to the side. And then, ooh, look, it's already doing stuff on our background. Okay, so let's wipe this off on here. Should we try to clean it? I have a whole roll of paper towels with us today. I'm not usually very good at cleaning things, but we'll try. Okay, here we go. See, there it is. I kind of like that my comb is getting a buildup on it that's making its end tines fatter. Okay, so now we got, we're gonna come back to this one. Oh, we have two, yay. Okay, actually let's do one here. So what Seth has been doing is taking and just putting this on in a layer, okay? And so this is much like, you know how when you do a gel plate, it's upside down, right? So when you do the gel plate and then you turn it over, it's the top is the back. Yes? Yes. The top is the back, the front is the bottom. This is kind of opposite of that. So whatever we put here, right, is going to be in the very back of the project, and I'll show you, because this is looking a little clear, but it's actually if you put it on thicker, it's actually opaque, meaning you can't see through it. This is looking a little translucent, and that's a pretty color, huh? So what Seth was doing was he was just taking and building up layers to make a background. So we're gonna try that. That isn't something I usually do, but I always think it's fun to try what they say at least once, right? Okay, so we're gonna do this, and we're gonna put this aside. Now, this thing I made this morning. I need a sip of coffee. I made this morning because I was cruising Pinterest the other day, and I was seeing those really old-fashioned pictures from like China and places like that, where there were, the picture that I have in my mind is like a hunched lady, really pretty, and then there were shiny like rectangles, right, randomly around. So what I did was this morning, I cut this out on my Cricut Joy, and I made rectangles. So I didn't want just plain rectangles because I thought that would be a little boring, but I figured I'd make a series of weird rectangles. And then I love dots. I don't know, I'm going to use those today. So what I'm going to do is on this page, I'm going to do 2 of these. I'm going to do this one, which is turquoise, and I'm going to do this one, which is sunlight. Sunlight, that's the shiny one, okay? No, I lied to you. I lied to you, I lied to you. We are gonna do turquoise and whatever this thing is, cream, because this doesn't have any gold in it yet. So let's do turquoise and cream. All right, and so for me, one of the nice things about making reusable, or making paper stencils on the Joy is, number one, I will have this cool thing to use in my art when it's covered with this stuff. And number 2, remember that I'm lazy about cleaning. This way, I won't have to clean this stencil, right? Right? How cool am I? I'm lazy. Okay, let's get this in here. Smishy, smish, smish. This is a really uneven background because it's layers of tissue paper and stuff. Okay, so we got one. See how it looks? Oh, good. I like that. Okay, let's do one over here. Do we want to do a 4? We want to do a 3? Okay, let's do a 3. Okay. All right. Boop, up, up. Stop moving. Okay, here we go. Now, if you get stressed out, if your stencil moves, just use a little bit of washi tape, right? I don't get stressed out. Boop. Yay. That's kind of cool. Now, the thing about this is, though, because this is texture paste slash, and I'm just going to do whatever's left on this blue knife down here. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. This isn't going to be a perfect one, right? Okay, there we go. This is texture paste and color. So that's kind of cool, right? I like that idea. All right, since we're using white, let's just, ugh, it's sticky, you guys. Sticky. All right, now look how good that's working. And it smells nice. You could use, I also have, 92% isopropyl alcohol. But especially for something, just a fun day like this, I like when my stuff smells pretty. All right, so let's do some more. Can we get this in here? Oh, we can. We can get it in there without touching the other ones. Okay. And this isn't an actual page. This is, I made this when I was just using up stuff. So let's get part of this and part of that. So this is kind of a, I don't know what it is yet page. I have other pages where I have a thought when I start. Uh-oh. So screw it. We're doing it. We're putting some out because I'm not coordinated enough to do it the other way. Okay. We'll use it. Don't worry. Don't worry. Ooh, I love that. Ooh, I kind of love that very much. Okay, let's turn this way. You guys have to go sit up there. Okay. Do we want to go over our butterfly wing a tiny bit? Let's do that. All right, let's grab some more. We're going to do this. All right, so I got it over the edge, right? This is the best way to erase things. There you go. Perfect. There we go. And don't leave it on your finger because it will stick to your finger. All right, so that's that. Let's do we want one more? Yeah, I got some more crap on the thing, so let's do over by the mushrooms. Do it upside, yeah, let's do it upside down, over by the mushrooms. Oh, let's go off the edge. It's always good to go off the edge with at least a little something. I hope I'm not messing up that texture over here, because this will have a little bit of texture. Yep, I did mess it up a little. No, maybe not. That's maybe from the original stuff. Anyways, so we're gonna put this off to the side. I really like that. I think it adds a little smidge to it, right? Okay, so now that we're working with these two colors, let's get this thing back. And let's do a white layer. Oh, that's way too much. Okay, he said that you could smush some of it back in. Let's see if we can smush some of it back in. We're going to be doing a lot of white today. Okay, let's see. Did that work at all? Well, I think this means that we bring out this other white paper. All right, so can we talk for a minute about art supplies? Okay, one of my goals in life is to be able to afford to buy as many art supplies as I want. And because it's my business, because I make videos on the internet and I have a blog, honestly, my that's kind of it's a realistic goal, right? I don't know that there's an art, I do know what I can't buy. So my husband said I wasn't allowed to buy like the huge Cricut machine, because it was, I don't know, $400 or something ridiculous. So I bought the Joy, which I feel like was the perfect answer. I don't know whether it was the money or the size or whatever, because I have a relatively small craft room. But the one thing about buying as many craft supplies as you want that you have to be very careful of is they're not for hoarding, right? You don't buy them, you don't buy the whole line of Tim Holtz Distress to have the whole line. Well, I guess you could. I mean, if that's what you like to do, if your joy is collecting craft supplies, then that's one thing. But if you're buying craft supplies or art supplies or whatever, you should use them. So instead of being traumatized that came out globby, I'm kind of excited because now I have another page that I wouldn't thought of making. Okay. Put those over there. This is white. I will never remember to clean this off. Let's clean this off. Did we get it anywhere else? Look, it comes right off with that. There's a slight possibility it would come right off without that, but I'm not jinxing myself. All right, so now let's get back to these guys. Now I am going to, are they dry? Yeah, they're dry. Okay. This had a little bit more, so I don't know if it's going to be completely dry, but we're going to be okay with however it goes. All right, so we have blue and yellow and reds or oranges. So for this one, I'm going for pretty monochromatic, bluish, yellowish, goldish. So, and I'm kind of on a gold kick anyways, but this is shiny. So one of the things that will really make a difference to how much we notice the shiny bits is if there's matte bits behind it. So for this one, I'm gonna put this pretty one over here. That's gonna be a beautiful one. This one's a play one, right? Because it's on Desi's mat. All right, so this is a speedball brayer. It is squishy, right? So it works really well to get things into your gel plate. So we're gonna get, and I don't want this to be a ton of it, but I do want to have a little bit of this kind of dark purpley color behind here, because I think that will make it cool. Obviously, I wouldn't be using it if I didn't think it would make it cool, right? I can hear you thinking. All right, so we're just gonna put a little bit of this behind here. Now, my gel plate trick will not work as well with this one because it's dirty, right? But give me a second and I'll show you a cool trick when you use the acrylic blocks with your gel plate. All right, I think we got most of that. Okay, so watch. See, I can kind of see what's happening. Not very well, but I can see some of it. That's kind of what's going to come off if I get everything off this gel plate, right? Except for maybe that the underside of the gel plate is dirty. I think it might not be. I think this might be what we get if we did the pull right now. Okay, so, but let's look at this. I want way more blue in this. I want to mimic the blue from the Pearly, that ocean that we did. So I'm going to kind of put a bunch of this on too. Okay. Nice. That's pretty. Okay. And we are going to call this one, well, we're going to look. Just make sure there's no place where it's really weird. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're going to call this one done for now. Boop. There we go. See how we got some more blue? What's this? Oh, that's Uggs. I can't get through the Uggs. All right, let's see what happens. We're gonna wait, let that dry. And then we've got this beautiful one that we are gonna use the blue on. Let's grab this thing. Kind of get some of our stuff off. All right, that was not as effective as you would have thought, right? Doy. Okay, so we're gonna do some blue on this one. And I'm kind of trying to mimic a little bit where I have the blue. So the blue goes with the blue and the yellow goes with the yellow. I don't know if that'll look cute, but it might, right? You never know. Okay, so then we have yellow. And because I'm trying to make this actually kind of cute, I'm gonna grab my little baby brayer. Oh, I got some new Tim Holtz sprayers. I should have brought those out. Anyways. Boop, boop, boop. They're black and grungy. All right. Now my trick will work super well on this one. You ready? Here's your acrylic block trick. So I can already see that I don't have enough blue under there. So let's do this guy a little bit more. This yellow paint is way more opaque than the blue wound up being. All right, let's do that. Let's do this. All right, now we're gonna check it. It should be, oh, how about this little corner down here? Okay, now let's check it. Boop, okay. Ooh, I love that. All right, so we're gonna put this to the side. And I need this relatively cleanish because our last pull on that, on those both are gonna be cream colored. Okay. So let's try to get most of this up, because otherwise I'm gonna put my stuff in there again. All right, close enough for government work. All right, so this one has a couple different layers. This one just has white, so let's go with the color. Let's go with, what is this? Orange, tangerine. And we're gonna put this on both of them. So on this one, I think I'm gonna make the last layer blue, and on this one, no. On this one, I'm gonna make the last layer yellow, and on that one, I'm gonna make the last layer blue. Okay. So, I will tell you unilaterally, even if I don't like this for a background, I will love to use this to cut up or to make, I'm trying to get some on my edges here because I like my stuff to go on the edge. Boop. All right. All right, and Seth says you gotta make some marks in it. Not a big mark maker, but when in Rome, well, I make marks, but not usually in my stuff. Okay. Oh, he also said you could scratch through to the bottom. Can we do that? Let's try. Oh, I guess you can. Let's see, we got almost all the way to the yellow. Oh, interesting. All right, well, that's a thing. And this guy, all right. So that made a circle stain right there. And you know what that made me think of? That made me think of, I want to get on the edges. Come on, this stuff doesn't like to go to the edges. Okay, here we go. You know what that circle thing made me think of? I have those circles on this. Do we want to do some? Yes, we do, honestly. Okay, so we're going to come in here on this orange layer. I'm starting to think I can't make just a plain background, which is hokey dokey. You can do, oh, should we make some marks in the circles? Look at me being all crazy. Might as well try it. All right. Let's do a couple this way. I feel like Seth must be way more coordinated than me because he doesn't look like he's derping around with this as much as I do. All right, so we got those. We'll leave that for now. We got to come back to this one because we got more on here. We're not wasting our stuff, right? Okay, there we go. All right. Now, oh, that is not done. I put that on the other one. All right, we're gonna have to have a coffee break. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, while I was getting my coffee, this is almost dry, I found this in a box on the dining room table that I have to put my art supplies away. But this is drywall tape, and supposedly it is self-sticking. But I was wondering, first off, if it's self-sticking on here. So it seems like it might be. Let's do one more little piece. And then I was thinking, this stuff is sticky as heck. So even if it wasn't self-sticking, I bet you this stuff will stick it, right? How fun is that? So we're going to try some of this on the next layer. All right, see, this is why Seth says to close up your stuff, because otherwise you go and become distracted and then all of a sudden your stuff is open. Okay, so we did yellow, we did white, we did orange. Now we're gonna do gold because the blue is gonna be the last one on here. All right, we're gonna see how it goes, and maybe we'll have to put some of that tape on here. All right. There we go. All right. So let's see how this works. Oh, it makes little squares. Can we just kind of do it? It definitely makes a grid. All right. Does it just not like the... All right, we're going to get our finger wet. Oh, yeah, it works better with your finger. Okay. So now we're going to do this. Kind of get that off. Oh, I kind of like that. We're just going to get a little bit of... Where's that stuff? Okay, we're just going to get a little bit in that one. I think I would rather have just a little bit, right? Kind of hanging out on the edges than filled up. I don't know if I like the filled up, but we're going to come back and we're going to do something with our blue. Oh, we still have to put doy. Okay. So we're supposed to put this on this layer. Ooh, I really like this on this layer. My favorite color is yellow, and my second favorite color in art is black, and then gold. So this is making me happy. Okay, are we supposed to make some more marks? I don't know. I feel like he makes marks all the time. All right. Okay, I don't hate that. All right, here we go. So let's see, we're gonna put this on first. And if you're wondering how much you get, I feel like I've used very little of this. And we've been using it on like multitudes of things, right? So I feel like it's going a fairly long way. I'm not even close to, like I'm not to this part, I'm still just squishing this top part. Okay. I really like that white layer on this one. I think it would, like for my art, I don't know that I would have all this bright shiny shit, but I would have that pearly white creamy thing underneath. All right. So you know what we're doing with this, don't you? We're putting some of that tape on it. I become enamored of something and then I have to use it. But I think this is really cool. All right, this time we're coming in off the bottom. We're just going to do one. And I do want to get a little bit of this color in it. I'm going to start off to the side and go across. But we're not covering it the way we did in that one. I don't love the covering it thing. And there's an ogue in there. Look at that. Oh, can we get the ogue out? I was going to say, we'll make the ogue a feature, but if we can kind of get it out. Oh, we did get it out. Yay. Okay. I don't know what it is. Anyways, let's go across here. Oh, make the marks. Oh, it's making the marks thing is rough. I'm gonna have to. I took Seth Apter background class. It was amazing when I was learning. I loved it. But I think I need to take a Seth Apter how to make marks and shit class. All right, so this is good on this one. You know what? I bet you we can do this now. Let's do the pull on the icky one first. All right. Not the icky background, but the icky. Oh, that's not even close to dry. All right. That won't work. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to try to pick up some of this paint because it appears as if this one will never dry. But this one looks drier. Okay. That paint right there is wet, but it'll be okay. I don't hardly ever wait long enough. And nothing has ever happened. nothing bad. All right. So we're gonna, and a lot of times, especially on the big plate, I will spread that around, like squirt it out all around. But on this little tiny plate, it doesn't matter as much. And you kind of want to get all of this wet, because if you don't get all of it wet, then you're not gonna get as good a pull off the gel plate. And, you know, we don't know if this, we don't know if that stuff's gonna come off, right? The pearly stuff. All right, let's grab a piece of paper. I use XL mixed media paper. That's my jam. Somebody should be more organized around here. Who's in charge? All right. So we are gonna put this down. Now, a nice lady who talked to me on my channel said that I don't wait long enough to pull my pieces. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this on here. It's stuck. Oh, I went and got my Seth, or my Tim Holtz sprayers, so they're nice and clean. They're virginal. Okay, all right. So let's give that a wee minute. All right, and this is a secret that I do a lot. I made this background and I hated it, right? So I'm not just gonna throw that piece of paper away, I'm gonna use it to do this pull. And I'm not gonna put it over this because I don't like this, but I have this nifty back of my, like, don't waste your supplies. Okay, all right. Let's get good connection. Because we're trying to give that pearly underneath the best chance to connect with the paper, right? So what's happening is the paint that we just put, we didn't put paint down. That's not gonna work. Dory. The paint that we're putting down now, oh, were you yelling at me? Were you like, that is not gonna work? Okay. All right, see this one, because it's a longer plate, we're gonna come all the way around here. And I am not mad at what we pulled. We're just gonna put it on this plate again. Okay, see, that's kind of cool. Look, it did pull some of it. Let's go on the other side. Maybe we'll have a whole big piece we can use for a background. Okay, let's try this again. So it only adhered to the paper. Remember I showed you that there were bits of it that were still wet? It really only adhered to the paper with the bits that were wet, right? That makes sense. Okay, so we're gonna leave this now. I don't need this anymore. Let's put it away. Let's trade these out. That paper's looking wet. This is the cool thing about using your acrylic block. You can see if it's gonna pull, right? Is it pulling? Oh, it looks like it's pulling. Are we getting it? So there's some bits left over that'll put shiny bits on my next project, but look at this. That worked just fine. And if you haven't done gel plates, if you wanted perfect circles, you would use a stencil, right? Because when we use the stencil, we could make totally solid squares and things like that. But if you're trying to use a gel plate, you're doing it because you want it to be imperfect, right? You want the fact that you get a little bit of blue in here, a little bit of yellow in there, that it pulled all the way. See how we got some of that cream colored paint towards the back? So I just think that is stunning. And you can kind of see the shine of the, that's very cool. I will make a page on that for sure. All right, let's do our, oh, we got this thing. And then we'll do our last layer on the last ones, and then we'll be done. This one we can't check as easy because it's all a mess, right? All right, so let's do this. This is gonna be exciting. Let's see what we get. Look, we're getting googies. All right, so for sure, see we got the pearly over here pulled out, and for sure in here, you can see that gold pearly. I can see the gold the most. What colors did we use on there? There's some of the, I think the pumpkin that looks a little coppery. That definitely pulled up. That's fun. I have to clean this plate. This is not like this because of the pearly. This is like this. This is like this because my plate's messed up, right? But that's beautiful. This is something that I like, that I think is very stunning. I know I said I should clean it, but I'm not going to. That's my very favorite Oogie one. Okay, we're gonna put these away. So this, oh, that's wet. In here, it's wet. I touched it. Freaked me out. Okay, now we're gonna do, so we have all the colors, right? Except for this one is gonna end with yellow. So we have to do blue on this one and this one. But this blue is gonna be the last layer on this one. Oops, we pulled up our stuff. Okay. Let's do two things on this layer since this is the final layer. See how, because it's a little translucent, this is what I was telling you at the beginning, where the last layer is the layer that you're really gonna see. Okay, let's go across here, and then we gotta go opposite. I like this blue color. I'm into turquoise right now. That's kind of my jam. I don't know. All right, we got to get on the edge. This is super pretty. I don't know what, I'll have to see what it looks like when I do the editing. But to me, this is really a pretty background. And there's Kitty. Hey, Kitty. Come here, honey. You want to come help? You want to come help with the arts? All right. I do not hate that. All right. Look. See, when you do this, then it's getting in those old... That's why he says to do the scritchy marks, right? Because then your stuff gets in there, in the crinkles. That's pretty. I love that. Okay. This is going to be that this is the next... Oh, look how much I glopped out. Okay. This is going to be the next to the last layer. So we're going to put this... I was going to make this a lighter layer, but it glopped out. So we call those volunteers around here. You got to make those noises when you use this product, right? Almost like the Star Wars. All right, I'm not sure that's real. I would rather have some heavier layers of blue around here and there than to have the whole thing just covered in blue, right? Let's make this. And then we're gonna have those cool scritchies for the other stuff to sit in. I'm probably gonna have to have another coffee break. What do you think? So I used my embossing tool to dry this. And don't forget, because it's texture paste, you should probably dry a little bit of the front and the back. I don't think where I have it thick with the blue, it's going to be dry, so I'm going to try to avoid those areas. But I have to go edit some videos, so I can't play with you anymore. But I wanted to finish this up, and I found a problem with this Pearly. So I need to tell you about it. So in looking at this, these are my colors that I like to use, but I know that Seth has like a maroon one or an eggplant or something. And I was like, oh, it could have been nice to have a little pop of eggplant here and there. So I think the problem is that it just is so cool. You may want to get different colors. That's very neat. And then here's so this is the one that we want the yellow, one of them. No, this is the blue on top with just a hint of yellow, I think. I don't care. I've lost track. Okay, I'm done with the marks though. No more marks. Too stressful. All right, that I think looks amazing. That is very pretty. Oh, this was the one I was supposed to do yellow in because I left that open yellow area. Okay, this is snazzy. I like this. But here's the other problem I found. So I was looking at this, and Seth talks about this as making a sandwich. So we have yellow all the way kind of towards the bottom. But he talks about making a sandwich is bringing a color back that you used before. So we're gonna, I know I have to stop sometime, but we're gonna bring back just a little bit of this yellow here and there. Okay, and I can justify this to myself because I didn't have this tape up here then, right? And see, it's not staying yellow, it's turning a tiny bit green because why? Everybody say it now, color theory. The blue isn't dry yet. Right? We didn't wait long enough on our coffee break. All right. All right, so I'm going to have to stop, but I think these turned out amazing. I love it. I would, like I said, I think I would tend to use these more for like having a piece to highlight in my artwork than to be the back of it. It's pretty darn shiny for me. But I think that this, I think the Pearly was a good buy. So I'm 2 thumbs up. Well, there you have it. So let's do all of them at the end. So here is the Pearly in the white and the blue. Where's the blue? There's some blue. I think this is delightful, right? It's just a little pop of that. I think this is my next favorite, where it's kind of a highlight. I don't know. This may be my next favorite too. This grungy background with the shine. I even turned on my light overhead so you can see the shine in there. See all that shiny bits? And then last but not least, these are total shine fest. This is probably, for me, this technique isn't what I would use for a background, but I think it's amazing, and I think it'll be fun to use cut up in different parts of my art. Hopefully that helped. Tara Jacobson, Artsy Fartsy Life.